Bakersfield Speedway action with the California Lightning Sprints ready for their heat race number 1 here September 17th, 2016. It's Bakersfield Speedway, the 3rd mile out in Oildale, California, and the California Lightning Sprints with the 69 machine starting on the front row of James Helling, the 54 of James Squire. That is your front row. Green flag in the air, and into turn number 1, we throw the Lightning Sprints. Well, if you wanted to know the car that might be the favorite here tonight, the 21 machine wasted no time in trying to show why he's always so fast and so good here. It's the 21 machine of Bobby McNevich. Also in this field, the 42, you see this battle for 3rd between the 42, 45, 42, John Robertson. 45 machine, piloted by Cody Nye, and in 3C into turn number 1 is Jeff Garcillo. Also in this field, we have the number 90 machine of Wyatt Downing and the 7 of Pat Kelly. That is a full field rundown of the 8 cars that started in this race. Mignovich is wasting no time in pulling away. There's Mignovich. Here's the battle for 2nd. Oh, and some contact here out of the turn. And you can see the sparks flying. That was the 7 of Kelly having contact with the 90 machine of Downing. We're going to keep an eye on Downing here. Don't see the sparks. It was odd because the sparks appeared to be coming out of the exhaust. Mignovich, holy cow, that 21 machine. He's already across the line taking the checker. Then the 45. Nye will come across for 2nd. The 69 started on the front, finishes 3rd. Helling will round out your top 3. 8 cars, 8 laps. Mignovich wins the first one. Bakersfield Speedway action with the California Lightning Sprints ready for their heat race number 1 here September 17th, 2016. It's Bakersfield Speedway, the 3rd mile out in Oildale, California, and the California Lightning Sprints with the 69 machine starting on the front row of James Helling, the 54 of James Squire. That is your front row. Green flag in the air, and into turn number 1, we throw the Lightning Sprints. Well, if you wanted to know the car that might be the favorite here tonight, the 21 machine wasted no time in trying to show why he's always so fast and so good here. It's the 21 machine of Bobby McNevich. Also in this field, the 42, you see this battle for 3rd between the 42, 45, 42, John Robertson. 45 machine, piloted by Cody Nye, and in 3C into turn number 1 is Jeff Garcillo. Also in this field, we have the number 90 machine of Wyatt Downing and the 7 of Pat Kelly. That is a full field rundown of the 8 cars that started in this race. Mignovich is wasting no time in pulling away. There's Mignovich. Here's the battle for 2nd. Oh, and some contact here out of the turn. And you can see the sparks flying. That was the 7 of Kelly having contact with the 90 machine of Downing. We're going to keep an eye on Downing here. Don't see the sparks. It was odd because the sparks appeared to be coming out of the exhaust. Mignovich, holy cow, that 21 machine. He's already across the line taking the checker. Then the 45. Nye will come across for 2nd. The 69 started on the front, finishes 3rd. Helling will round out your top 3. 8 cars, 8 laps. Mignovich wins the first one. Starting on the front row for heat race number 2, we have the 17 of Dale Gamer, and his outside is the number 13 of Danica Joe Parker. Row number 2 is the 15 machine of John Squire and the 8 of Kiwi Alexander. Then we got the 13 machine of Aiden Lang and the 0 of Dan Hilberg. And rounding out the field is the number 87 machine of Charlie Caricolo. I hope I'm saying that name right, because there's two. It could be Caricolo or Caricolo. Green flag into turn number 1. A little bit of contact. Seen that same ordeal in the first heat race of the night. Something to keep an eye on. Danica Joe Parker jumps to the early lead over the driver that she started on the front row with. Actually, who started right behind her, the 8 machine of Kiwi Alexander. You got Hilberg and the 0 machine moving into third. So it was good to be on that outside starting row. Alexander moves to the lead. Parker, Hilberg, your top 3. 7 cars in this heat race. There were 8 in the first. 15 of these machines here tonight. California Lightning Sprints fast on this 3rd mile at Bakersfield Speedway. See Hilberg bouncing around a bit. He throws it into the inside of Joe Parker and takes away the position. Lap 5 on the board, 8 lap total for these heat races. Every heat race will be 8 laps. Kiwi Alexander, Dan Hilberg, Danica Joe Parker, the top 3. 87 machine closing in to battle. That's Charlie Caricolo. I'm just going to say it different every time. Battle for 3rd here. Parker tries to hold off the 87 machine. The white flag is in the air. Final lap, final chance to take away any positions. Out of turn number 4, it is the 8 machine of Kiwi Alexander. Charlie does take over that position for 3rd. And 2 pretty clean heat races for these Lightning Sprints. A little bit of damage that we saw due to contact in the previous heat. We'll see what those drivers are able to do moving forward. Watching for the green flag flies for heat race number 1 in the IMCA stock cars, and jumping to the early lead is a Johnson, 111 of Chad Johnson. 41 machine started on the front row, Matt Broomley. Then you got the 6 in the field of Dave Bauer, and rounding out the field, the 45 machine, Troy Petit. Well, Johnson's wasted no time in establishing dominance. In his early effort here, he is way ahead of 2nd place, Bauer. Petit holding the 3rd spot, and Brumley has fallen from the lead to 4th here on lap number 2 of 8. Johnson in the 111 machine, the leader. Driver we've seen race in hobby stocks, sport mods, and now in these IMCA stock cars. See quite a few hobby stock drivers taking their hand at this, including both of the Johnsons that we knew well from the hobby stocks. That includes the 126 who we'll see of Steven Johnson. Chad's having no pressure though. Battle for 2nd though could be an interesting one to keep an eye on as they come out of turn number 4. Bauer trying to hold off Petit. Petit on the inside has a quarter panel there, had it. Just getting his fender right up to the door. Now we're going to be door to door here down the front straightaway. Next time by, the white flag will fly. There's only a handful of laps to sort this one out as Bauer still able to hold off Petit for 2nd. White flag will come out for the 111 machine of Chad Johnson. Out of turn 4, it's Petit and Bauer. That'll be a good finish here. We're going to keep an eye on this battle as Johnson has no pressure and Broomley is too far back to challenge here. Bauer gets good exit on turn number 2. Chad Johnson in the 111 takes the win in the heat race. And Bauer's going to hold off Petit for second. Heat race, action. Heat race number 2 for the IMCA stock cars. We have the 76 of Devin Jones starting us on the pole here tonight. 159, Mike Hill Jr. Probably shouldn't be too much of a surprise. That's a very recognizable car. And then Steven Johnson in that 126. Another driver we know very well from the hobby stock class. Rounding out the field is the 77X. Ben Lickey driving an IMCA stock car here tonight, trying his hand at it. What's fun though, I gotta let Ben know that on the driver sheet, his name is Ben Lickett. And that's just not appropriate. Top 3 battling here, lap number 2. Hill Jr. getting pressure from Johnson in the 26. You can see that front nose of Hill just grabbing at the ground. Devin Jones holds the lead with ease. Now Johnson closes in. We had Chad Johnson take the win in the first heat race. You know, Steven Johnson wants to follow it up. Certainly some family pride mixed in with all of this. Lap 4, we're halfway through. Johnson is going to take over the spot from Jones. Jones is going to fight back on that inside line, but Johnson's going to have the exit momentum. Hill Jr.'s body is just not having a good day. Like the front nose, we'll keep an eye on here. Now look at the right rear quarter panel. Like there's just parts of that car aren't going to make it to the main event. Here's Ben Lickett, or as everyone else knows him, Ben Lickey. And that 77 machine. White flag is out for Steven Johnson. Oh, and I didn't even see this. Around went Devin Jones out of turn number 4 in that 76 machine. He's going to lose 1 position to Mike Hill Jr. Checkered flag will fly for the 26 of Steven Johnson. Hill, Jones, and Lickett. Sport Mod Heat Race number 1 with the 74 machine of Wayne Dotson starting on the pole. To his outside is the number 78 machine of Dakota Schweitzer. Inside row number 2 is the 3AC of Austin Kiefer. And green flag is out. Simpkins in the 68. 9J is Hager. We got the 4 of Manning on the track. And the 18 machine going for the championship, Chris McKellar. Might be why he's being really nice to himself right now. We saw McKellar have issues last time out early on. Might be playing it a little safe, but everyone else is doing what we're used to seeing sport. Either McKellar's going really safe or he's got a major issue because he is way behind the field here. I'm calling he's playing it safe. We'll see what happens. Dotson's got a good lead. Then you got Schweitzer, Kiefer, and the battle back here for the 4th position between Hager, Manning, and Simpkins. Battle for second starting to heat up. Schweitzer trying to hold off Kiefer. That's Austin Kiefer, not Levi Kiefer. Make sure you mark that down in your programs. Dodson leads us to lap 5 of 8. 3 laps to go. Kiefer still holds the second spot, but Hager wants some. Now challenging. You can see a little damage here from the hood of Kiefer's car. Maybe a edge that's starting to pop up. Could be something missing there. Maybe a hood pin. The rest tried to chase him down. The white flag is going to come out for Dotson. We've seen this a couple times tonight where the leader just pulls away in multiple divisions. I think every division's had a winner that was at least by a full straight. Maybe people are just really saving it here for the mains. Well, wild Wayne Dotson is going to come out of turn 4, winning the first heat race. Kiefer, Hager, and the battle for third is going to go to Simpkins over Schweitzer, Manning, and McKellar. 8 laps. And it goes by just so quickly. Sport Mods, heat race number 2. Joey Dominguez in the 85 machine starts on the pole with the green flag flying and no time wasting from the 12. They did not like that start. Well, starting on the outside was the 3 of Jared Schweitzer, and he'll probably be able to do it again. The 12 machine of James Cecil may have moved a little bit quick on that start. To his outside, second place and chasing down your point leader, the 09 of Brylan Holder. And then the final 2 rows go to the number 40 machine of Nick Spainhoward and the 55 of Matt Lewis. Spainhoward's had a pretty good record with us in his last 5 or 6 races that we've covered him. That includes out at Watsonville, California, where we saw Spainhoward do pretty good. Yeah. Lots of wins coming in for that 40 machine. And let's try this again. Green flag. Jared Schweitzer. Brylan Holder. Your top 2. Dominguez in third. And Cecil wide. Looked like someone, might have been Holder, may have clipped the wall there. Heard it as they went by, but didn't lose any time. Right now closing in on your leader, Schweitzer for the lead. Getting a little squirrely back here. Spainhoward and Lewis may have had some contact out of turn number 4. Dominguez in the 85 trying to hold on, started on the pole, but slipping back to the caboose of the field. Jared Schweitzer, Brylan Holder, and James Cecil, your top 3. Those battle for 4th between Spainhoward and Dominguez, and rounding out the field is that 55 of Lewis. Lap 3 on the board, 5 laps to go. And around goes Cecil. Loop-de-loop. Cecil slips from third, now to the tail of the pack. Gonna keep an eye here as these drivers go into turn number 3. See if something's developing here. Bit of a bounce. But the staff here at Bakersfield Speedway always on top of this track, doing track work. Probably during our intermission, you can see where these cars are bouncing now. White flag in the air for Jared Schweitzer. Brylan Holder going to mount one last challenge here. Watch these cars bounce, right? Yeah. It's like a roller coaster. Checkered flag for Jared Schweitzer. Dominguez going to try and hold on to this 4th spot over Lewis. He does. Spainhoward was able to get up to 3rd, and Cecil, after a spin, tail of the field. Mini stock heat race number 1 with the 77 machine of Steve Rourke starting on the pole. To his outside is a driver that I should have paid more attention to. No doubt about that. Green flag. Mini stock racing, the 33. Skip Spiller. No kidding, huh? Gary Spiller snuck himself into a mini stock here tonight. I thought that was going to be Conway. I really did. Well, it won't be any surprise to see Spiller having a strong night if it so goes that way. He's had some success. The 23 machine in the field, that's Kylie Conway. 1, 2, 3, that's Misty Warren in the 4th spot. Then we got the 78 machine of Sherry Duncan in 5th. We have a 27 car here, David Benningfield. I wonder if it's supposed to be Beddingfield, because I know Beddingfield, but I'm going to call it what the sheet says. It says Benningfield. And then we got the 6 machine of Andy Boydston going for a championship tonight. One of the drivers, I believe he's 3rd in points. And this is the car I'm talking about that I followed in here today when I got here. He got here, folks, less than an hour, I think 45 minutes before racing action started tonight. Oh, boy. Misty Warren in the 123 machine on the inside of War, going to take over the spot. In the way, though, Skip Spiller. Spiller, Warren, Rourke, Conway, Duncan, Benningfield, and Boydston. That's your full field rundown. Mini stocks with the good field tonight. And these drivers, mini stocks, will be crowning a champion tonight. This is their last race of the year for the mini stocks. Lonnie Spiller going for a championship. White flag is in the air for Skip Spiller. So he rounds the final two turns of this race over Misty Warren and will take the checkered flag. Now, very interesting that Skip is in this race, given that Lonnie's going for the championship tonight. It's going to be kind of close, admittedly. The point gap between the two, 18 points, that's 9 positions. So we'll have to pay close attention. If there were 7 cars in this race, we got at least 13 mini stocks here tonight. So anything can happen. Mini stock heat race number 2. Looks like 13 cars here tonight with Lonnie Spiller in the 7 machine starting on the pole. To her outside is the 57 of Stephen Lawler. I love that car. Then we got the 0 of Shannon 3-wide Tridy. The 70 machine of Roy Maynard Sr. on track. And the final 2 cars in the field, we have the 36E of Chris Settlemeyer and the number 15 of Sean Schwarzenberger. Second place in points, trying to chase down your leader, who they're both in this heat race. Lonnie Spiller needs to finish 9th or better to clinch the championship and backfire twice. Oh man, someone's firing off the shooting iron. Who needs firecrackers when you got mini stocks? Lonnie Spiller, your leader, over Shannon Tridy. Tridy's very much picked it up. Both, you know what, we've seen Lonnie Spiller and Shannon Tridy really get down in these cars, and in a division that is now very much I was gonna say dominated by the females. They're just taking this field by storm, but you got guys like Sean Schwarzenberger in this machine who's like, well, wait, I still want to win the championship. So we'll see if Lonnie can do it, but she's going to get pressure right now from Shannon Tridy. Off the field, or off the track, goes the 70 of Roy Maynard Sr., but that wasn't the car that's backfiring like crazy, as you can tell. I believe it's the 36 of Settlemeyer. But we have a good battle here for the lead before we focus on backfires halfway through this heat race. Spiller, Tridy, Schwarzenberger. Gotta love those mini stocks. Oh, great race here for the lead. As Spiller, the point leader, has it. Schwarzenberger moves the outside of Tridy. Try and take over the position there. Outside move, lap number 6, 2 laps to go. Tridy gets a little loose off the corner. That allows Schwarzenberger to take over the position. And now we're going to have a battle for the lead here as the white flag flies for Spiller. This will be your championship battle tonight. Spiller trying to hold off Schwarzenberger for the heat race win to try and set a precedent for tonight. Spiller goes wide. Schwarzenberger dives low. They're coming out of turn number 4. They're going to be door to door. Who's it going to be? I think Spiller got it by just the plastic bumper. Yeah, that's Settlemyer. This car's a parpin' fuel. I can't talk. A poppin' fool. Oh man, look at that car go. It's a beautiful car. This is another car that I at least haven't seen a lot of. Lawler. Love the white wheels and the different style mini stock. Love it. I know we have a number of drivers from Porterville joining us here tonight. We'll be out there for a big old race at the end of the year. You guys got to stay tuned for it. It's going to be a heck of a 3-day racing event. We'll get into that later. It's the IMCA Modifieds Heat Race number 1. And starting on the pole in it, Bill Bartels in the 77 machine. 51B of Brian Clark will start on the outside of the front row. Then we got row number 2, the 11 machine of Rob Sanders. And to his outside is the number 2 machine of Justin Schweitzer. Row number 3 to the inside, the 198 of Robbie Sawyer and the 24 of Roger Holder to his outside. And rounding out the field, the 11X, the Dominator of... No, it's not the Dominator. I've been used to Brad Pounds. It's Kyle Heckman tonight in the 11X. 7 cars. Watch for the green. Green flag. Clark to the early lead, 3 wide back here. Schweitzer taking that. Now, we talked about this progressing turn 3 bump, and we'll watch the field go over it. We'll watch this pack right here, right there. So, it may be a little bumpy, have a bit of a speed bump there tonight. I can guarantee you I've seen much worse, so I know these drivers have too. But curious to see. I know they'll probably do some track prep here. Oh, Sawyer, he don't care about no bump. He'll bounce it right into the trees if he's got to go for the win. I'm going to watch Sawyer here. This is fun. And then we'll show you the battle for the lead that's starting to brew. Boink, boink, boink. Clark trying to hold off Schweitzer. Schweitzer dives below. Clark to the outside, doesn't hold it well. Schweitzer on the inside doesn't hold it well. He's going to take over the lead, however. Sanders in the 11 machine closing in for the second spot over Clark. Clark has it. Sanders wants it. Schweitzer has the lead, and Sawyer, as I'm convinced, someone's going to roll over. Hopefully he does it again, as we have a really good battle here for second. Sanders is going to have it out of turn number 2. Watch how much air Robbie Sawyer gets. Oh, of course. Of course you don't do that time. White flag is in the air for Schweitzer. No one hits it. Checkered flag out of turn number 4. The 2J Justin Schweitzer takes the heat race victory. Sanders, Sawyer, Clark, Holder, Heckman, and Bartels. IMCA modified heat race number 2, the last heat race of the night. One machine of Scott Pound starts on the pole. The 28P of John Piker starts on the outside of row number 1. Green flag will fly. And a clean night of heat racing. 111 Logan Drake, your third place spot. Steve Noland in the 17N battling for it. Got the 16, the Outlaw, Ricky Schultz Jr., point leader. And Randy Thornell in the 017 machine rounding out the field. Scott Pounds has the lead. The battle for seconds brewing with Nolan chasing down Piker. Drake's lost a spot at risk of losing another one here to the 16 of Childress. Cornell there in the 017. Good to see him back. Scott Pounds, your leader. Nolan has caught Piker just enough there to get to the inside into turn number 1. Side by side, door to door into turn number 3 and bump. Nolan takes the spot. Drake now moves in to fill the gap, and Childress falls back. We might be seeing Childress doing a similar thing with McKellar did in the Sport Mods. McKellar literally opened up a full straightaway gap between himself and the next closest competitor. Childress at least is making it a little bit more interesting. But McKellar making sure that car makes it to the main event. These drivers know now what they have to do in order to clinch. Holy guacamole, that bump. But this is one thing that I know Tommy and I both really appreciate about dirt track racing, is the adaptability. The ever-changing track, ever-changing conditions. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you get a feature on a track that you're not too excited about, white flag in the air. Childress, I think, is just pulling it off. Hopefully, that's not a sign of a mechanical issue for your point leader. Out of turn 4, it's going to be Scott Pounds taking the victory. Nolan, Piker, Cornell, and Drake. For those watching on YouTube, thank you so much for joining us here. Although you're not watching live, but you could watch live. That's the exciting part. There are people watching live right now, and they're the lucky ones joining us here on Low Budget TV and Race Feed X. But if you didn't watch it live and you're really interested and really hoping to see these main events, they are available. Contact us on Facebook, Low Budget TV. We got all the main event action at your disposal. That being said, for those watching live, we're going to take a break here. We're going to verify that we have an intermission coming up. And if we do, then we're good to go. If we're not, then we'll be good to go eventually. So stay tuned for now.